so we're going to prep for the seat. Now, I think I've figured out a pretty good way to attach this seat that I know that it's secure, and it's just been the best way through all the projects that I've made. I'm going to show you how to cut the round with the router, and also how you would measure the circle if you would use a jigsaw. And then again, there's always the best, easiest method would be just to buy a pre-cut board. So for this, you're going to need your 1/4 inch plywood, your drill with a 1/4 inch drill bit, and 4 screws. If you're going to use the 1/4 inch plywood, 1 1/4 inch screws with nuts and some washers, which we'll use later. Now, what I do is actually cut the round. We're going to put it on top of the tire, drill 4 holes down with our drill bit, and then take the wood off. Put the screws and then secure it with the nuts on the bottom, and then we're going to build our seat on top of this. So what's going to happen is once the seat is all done, it's already got the 4 screws in it that's lined up with the tire. Then we're going to be able to just put this right down on top of the tire when it's all finished, and then add the washer and the nut below the tire and secure this seat for a really nice, completed, secure seat. So let's go ahead and get started on cutting the wood. So let's use the jigsaw to cut out your 20-inch circle. We've got our tape measure, a push pin, a piece of string, and a marker. So our board's supposed to be 20 inches wide, so we're going to measure 10 inches. Tie it off onto the pen at exactly 10 inches. And that's how we're going to draw the line for our circle for our jigsaw to follow. Once the circle's all complete, you're just going to go in and follow the line to cut it with the jigsaw. Now we've got our router. So again, 1/4 inch plywood, safety goggles. I need a drill here because I'm going to secure that middle part to attach the circular jig to. Just for teaching's sake, I'm finding the center of the board. I would typically make 3 or 4 rounds off of this 1/4 inch piece of plywood. So we have our center, our mounting bracket. We're going to just drill that in. That's going to attach. The jig is going to attach to that to secure it so we can cut our circle. Now again, we're going to measure 10 inches on that ruler on the jig, and that's where we're going to attach it. There's a little mounting bracket underneath. Make sure it's nice and secure. For the router, you're going to turn it, open it up to turn it counterclockwise to drop that blade. Now we're going to make 2 rounds on this. We're going to have it to 1 depth, and then we're going to stop and make it go a deeper depth for the second round to cut all the way through the wood. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this so I don't bore you too much, but I'm just going to simply make 2 rounds on this. And you can see what a nice circle it cuts and why I prefer the router. So now we're going to adjust it to go deeper. That second round, I've got a small table underneath the piece of plywood to catch the wood. It comes off a little bit here, so I just have to make sure that it's secure. And here we go. And our 20-inch round board is cut. Just clear it off, sand the edges, and we're ready to create our seat. Okay, we have our wooden round, and we're getting ready to go ahead and pre-drill our holes through the wood and the tire. Now, because we made that wooden round a little bit bigger, it's easier to drill into the tire at that part. if we would have made it fit close to the rim, the rubber is more durable there and it's more difficult to drill through. So by drilling these holes, we've lined up where our seat is going to be when we're getting ready to attach it. So once the holes are all drilled, we're just going to take our screws, slide them in the pre-drilled hole, and secure them with the nut on the back of the board. And do that with all 4 screws. Now our seat will be ready to go ahead and build our cushion on. You can see all 4 screws are secured with the nut. We can set the seat aside and get ready to make the cushion. But this is really an important step here. You're going to take 4 additional screws and you're just going to go ahead and put them in the pre-drilled holes in the tire, and this is going to mark them. So when we apply the fabric and we get ready to go attach that seat, we know exactly where we're going to line up. If you don't do this, it's going to be very difficult to attach the seat.